talk about it. I tried to explain
we at the beginning too is that he had a crew in there, right?
Yes.
And it was I found out they were getting paid.
Yeah, me too. That hurts.
Which
Bonfire pays.
what?
Bonfire pays.
Bonfire pays every time.
Yeah.
I don't care about not. Look, I've gone in and done Jim and Sam show without getting paid.
It's not pay.
No, it doesn't. But I don't care because I love Jim and Sam, and they've done a lot for me. And they
Also
brought me
a bigger platform, so for the road and shit like that.
But no, it's not that. It's that, and I've done Opie show a million times. I've actually lost money because I got to pay $50 to park. I come into Westchester, I got to lose money.
Yeah.
But then when you're sitting there, you find out that someone's getting $750 a pop.
Yes.
And I'm actually getting
$750.
That's crazy money. I've never gotten a dime.
I'm getting charged. I'm getting charged $50 to do the show.
But you get a free sandwich.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what?
They're really going for Bobby's
heart.
Yeah.
I was a little like, well, wait a minute. It didn't make sense to me. But I understand it because I'll tell you why. Because you're building up a crew that's going to be loyal to your show. I do Bennington's, I do Howard Stern's wrap-up show, I do Jim's, I do whatever show I want, right? But the guys that you're paying are going to do your show.
There's co-hosts, more or less. Like, I mean, they're on every show. That's a different story. If they're on every show...
But you don't think Vic's jumping around?
But it's different, though. If you're on every show and you're a co-host, it doesn't matter. Like, if I pay Zach to co-host my show, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, but he's on my show every single time he's my fucking co-host. Yeah. Every time I can depend on him, he's there.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like, I've been going in there a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, waking up at the crack of fuck. And look, it was an even exchange. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff. I got exposure. It was on a great show. Yes. It was funny, blah, blah, blah. But it was just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I got a kid. I got a fucking house. Right. I got a mortgage. I'd like to, if you at least given the opportunity, like, hey, do you want? But that's just not. That's the way it rolls. After I dealt with that, it was like, all right, I get it. But it was
you weren't willing to come in every day and be his co-host.
No, if you for $750 a fucking pop,
you would have done it.
I'd have to do the math, but I might have came in and went and did a couple days.
I would suck Opie's cock for $750 a show, every show.
Right.
Thanks, Opes. Done.
You made him come.
Yeah, I made him come.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't know. But then when you find out that people are getting paid, you're like, what the fuck?
Sherrod is making 3 times more than I am at SiriusXM.
Tons of money.
I'm going to throw a bottle through the window of that building.
Not anymore.
You could work it out. Like, let me come in this many times for lower money.
Well,
we can figure something out.
But I think he was trying to maybe he was trying to find a crew.
He had
maybe he was trying to find his new Opie and Anthony. And I guess that's what he did with those 3 guys. Well, I mean, that's how you do it. If you pay people money,
and
they're
one
going
of them still turned his back on him, right?
Who?
Well, no, Roland was the booker and one of the producers.
Roland was a booker, yeah.
Different. And he didn't, I don't think, I think that Roland was just fucking.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I still think that. It seemed like if you're going to go and do that and complain, you're just done with the guy. You don't like the guy as it is. You just don't do that.
My point.
You don't do it.
That's my point, is that it's not the fact that he did it. It's the fact that Roland was like, I felt uncomfortable you doing it. I got to go tell somebody, because I would never do that to anybody.
Yeah.
Even somebody I don't like, I wouldn't do that. I would have a conversation with them. I'd like, dude, delete the fucking video. Don't be an asshole. Right. I'm not cool with that shit.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah, but Roland's getting like stress rashes. He was fucking miserable.
Yeah, look, Roland's got a stressful job as it is.
Totally.
And it's just but now it's over. I mean, you don't have to worry about any of it. I mean, he's saying that he's got something. Someone said that Sherrod's got a TV network.
Who knows? Network.
Yeah.
Network.
I swear to God.
Oxygen?
Or something. He's got some TV deal that he's plugging Opie into and the chef into, and they're going to do something. So who knows?
Great.
Look, man, who knows? It sounded like when I listened to the show, they were having a fucking good time with those 3 guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I don't give a fuck. If you're having a good time, have a good time.
Have a ball, but
I
can't be up front.
I can't not do, if the wrap-up show calls me, I have.
Of
Are you
course.
crazy? I love those. I had a blast with those guys. And of Jim and Sam, I have to do that show. Bennington, I love Bennington.
The best.
He's the best.
$750 a show. I literally wouldn't do any of the other shows.
That's crazy.
I really wouldn't. If they offered you $750 a show, they said, dude, but you can only go on Opie's. It's the only radio show at SiriusXM you're allowed to do. $750 a show. We're gonna have you in 2-3 times a week. Promote whatever you want. Would you do it?
Totally.
100%. Why not?
That's a lot of money.
We can't bitch about
up.
that. Yeah, fuck that.
I would go to the other shows and go, look, I can't go on your show.
Unless
I have
you pay
to
me.
I have a fucking house. I got a mortgage. I got a kid, and I have to do this. This is business. This is not personal.
Yes.
I would.
Of course, you tell them.
I would have that fucking.
I might do it for less.
Yeah, maybe.
I might, yeah.
But here's the thing about me that I had to find that out through somebody let it out of the can.
Yes.
I didn't find out. Hey, man. You know what I mean? Like
that's what hurt.
I felt like I was. I mean, as far as I was concerned, I was always I was good on that show.
Mm-hmm.
I broke my knee. Fucking Billy the Bass Man. You know what, dude? Boom. All this horse shit that I've done on that show.
Maybe it's a game of telephone and they're not getting paid $750. Maybe Opie's charging them $750 and it just got to you and it was misconstrued.
Wait, what do you mean?
I have no idea.
Play the farts
I
again.
was letting him.
I was complicated.
He was playing the farts.
Sponsors to pay for this shit. So, I do want to talk about something that went around the internet last week that was completely ridiculous. People were trying to make a big deal that I actually paid some of my comedian friends to do the radio show with me. I couldn't believe that it became a thing, but I said this on Twitter and I'll say it again. About a year ago, 9-10 months ago, SiriusXM came to me and just completely hammered me. They took, not that I'm crying poverty, but they took 50% of my salary away. They took away my morning show. They took away the name of the channel. They took away my staff. They took away my office. And it was such a surprise to me. I should have walked last October, but I'll be honest, I had nothing set up whatsoever because I assumed that I was just going to continue with SiriusXM for a little while. So I had to suck it up, sign a 1-year deal. They wanted 2 or 3. I said, no way, I'll do 1 because this is completely ridiculous. I said this to their face. I'm like, this is ridiculous what you're doing to me. And then what they said was, not only are we, taking all this stuff away, we want you to do a radio show with an A-lister. And they floated a bunch of names past me, and quite honestly, a couple of them were on my show. There wasn't any real chemistry. And then there were A-listers on this list that I've never done radio with. And at the time, I was doing a lot of radio with Vic Henley, Sherrod Small, The Cuban, Krista Stefano, Florentine's in there, Rich Voss. And I told them I'm going to do it my way, and I want to continue with the guys that have really helped me in the last year or two. So there was money put aside for a co-host. And I said, look, give me that money. I don't feel like picking one guy out of that list. So give me the money and I'll spread the wealth. For people to spin that into a bad thing, that I'm actually taking care of people that helped me build a new show, I don't have time for that. But I figured I would give it my 2 cents here before I move on. So in the end, I ended up paying 5 or 6 guys to come in and do the radio show with me as co-hosts. Not only that, the money that they allocated for me for a co-host wasn't enough, so I threw in my own money to just sweeten the pot a little bit. Although what these guys have done for me, they should have made twice as much as what SiriusXM/I was paying them. So then people turn around and try to say that I'm a bad guy for paying the guys that help me. I need to pay people to do radio with. This is the nonsense you got to deal with when you get a popular radio show out there. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents. To be honest with you, I apologize to Mark Norman. We had a really nice conversation a couple days ago because he was sort of the guy that was on the fence, and honestly I probably should have paid him as well, but I just simply in the end didn't have enough money to go around. To the point, actually, am I saying actually a lot? If I am, I apologize. Near the end there, I had to go to a couple of my guys and say, hey man, I'm running out of money. Would you mind if you did, the show for less money or no money? And 3 of the guys said, no problem. I just love doing the radio show and it helps me in the clubs. It sells more tickets. So they did me a solid by doing the show from time to time for free. And that's the story. As far as other comics being fucking butthurt over that, I don't know what to tell you. I simply don't know what to tell you. When you do a very popular radio show and you're a comic, the value is coming in, you know, being funny, and then you get the value on the other end. You get hopefully a few more people going to your shows out there when you're touring. But to Mark Norman, he's the one I definitely owed, and I apologize to him. I wish I had more money to pay him because he was definitely in the sort of like the last guy in as far as my small group of comics go. So, but we worked it out. Me and Norman worked it out. I also had a really good conversation with Bob Kelly. When the whole Jim Norton thing was kind of falling apart, I was looking at Bob Kelly as a guy that I could do radio with on a regular basis. But unfortunately, you know, he was doing a TV show at the time. He got busy in his own right. And it was kind of a bummer that he really didn't do my new show that much. That was one of the things we disagreed with when we talked the other day. I told him, dude, you did the new show maybe once or twice. He doesn't see it that way, and I think he's getting confused with all the times he did the show when I was still doing it with Jimmy, which was a huge, huge help to me because it was obvious that me and Jimmy didn't have the chemistry and our relationship was falling apart, and Bob Kelly was definitely there as a buffer, and I'll never forget that, and I really appreciate Bobby for, you know, helping out in those tough times. So, but it's too bad I didn't end up doing the show with Bobby a lot more. So that's that story. So spin it however you want, but that's the God's honest truth. I don't understand why it's a bad thing to take co-host money and spread it around to guys that help build a brand new radio show. I keep looking over here because I thought I got a hit on my rod, but I did not. So I hope I didn't bore you with that. Also, it was fun messing with Jason Ellis what was that, Friday? I'm losing track of days. If you haven't heard, I was just sitting out here on the beach in the rain, and fishing was terrible. So I sent out a tweet that basically said I'm trying to call Jason Ellis and no one's answering. And then went back and forth for, I don't know, about an hour, where he's calling me a liar, and I'm like, I'm not lying. I keep calling and they're hanging up on me. The phone's busy, blah, 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 blah. I was just playing him like a fiddle. I had no intention of going on his show. There would be no reason for me to be on his radio show. And, you know, that was fun going back and forth for about an hour on Friday. I told Jason Ellis, I know he's bitching about the company and the channel. I told that guy, I said, watch your fucking back, man. You think you're special around here? They don't treat people right. He ran into me in the hallway, and this is what's really, really interesting. This is why it drives me nuts. Radio drives me insane. If you know the history of Jason Ellis, someone came to me years and years ago with a tape of Jason Ellis' show and said, hey man, we want to put this on your channel. I listened to the guy and I thought he had a lot of potential. This was, I don't know, 8 years ago or something. So we put him on. And I really dig Jason Ellis' show back then. I couldn't tell you what he's doing today. I have no idea. I don't listen to the channel. I never did in general. And after they took the channel away from me, I certainly did not tune in, except for, like I said, I think last week, maybe for a total of an hour in the last 9 or 10 months. But anyway, so we put Jason Ellis on my channel at the time, and I liked it a lot. Jimmy and Anthony absolutely hated Jason Ellis and hated his show. But we were the ones that gave him a nice boost. And for some reason, even though I did him a solid, he would just trash me and trash us on Howard Stern because he felt like that's the way to getting good with Howard Stern. And so unfortunately there was some bad blood there, and you know, we moved on with our lives. So you fast forward, I'm in my hallway office and Jason Ellis comes around, and his opening remarks to me, you know, this was when the whole thing fell apart. No, it wasn't even that long ago. It was right before they took the channel name away from me. And his opening line why are you so bitter, man? Why are you so bitter? And then, you know, he didn't really understand the whole Jim and Sam taking my show thing. And I explained it to him, like, look, imagine if you had guys around you and all of a sudden they're doing your time slot. You wouldn't be pissed off? So long story short, he actually apologized for me for being an asshole back in the day. Said he was angry and this and that and blah, 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 blah. And we had a really, really, really good conversation. And we shook hands and that was it. This is why I fucking hate radio. So the whole time he's talking to me and telling me, why are you so bitter, man? He knew that they were taking the channel away from me. Yeah, let that sink in. He knew. So I don't know why your opening line would be, why are you so bitter, man? But I don't work there anymore. I wish Jason Ellis nothing but the best. It was fun fucking with you on Twitter on Friday. I was bored. It was good stuff. And that's that. But I told him, I'm like, watch your back, man. Watch your back. And it sounds like they're starting to screw with him now as well. They had no intention of giving him that channel. They tricked him because they knew they were going to get rid of the Faction Music channel. So they thought they could squeeze the two audiences into one. And the whole time, they, A, were taking Faction away, and B, they weren't going to let him program that channel with his guys. And now he's kind of, you know, seeing what this company is capable of doing, which is unfortunate, but whatever. I think I explained that well enough. If not, go fuck yourself.